Hello and welcome to The Fix, and today we're going to have a look at this Jaguar S-Type 3-litre V6. It's got an engine management light coming up on the dash, so let's go and investigate what the problem is. Right, I'm going to plug in the diagnostics. The OBD socket is just here, just underneath here basically, there. So I've plugged in the diagnostic. Now I'm going to switch on the ignition and start it up, and as you can see, the engine management sign is on, and usually you get a sign on the display in low power mode, engine low power mode or limp mode it goes into. So I'm going to do a fault code read on it. Right, the fault codes on it are description system 2 lean bank 1, state pending, description 2 lean bank 2, and that's just a flight recorder what is stored, and it says there description catalyst system efficiency below threshold bank 1. So that means it's either taking in air from one of the breather pipes or one of the vacuum pipes, so then what it makes it burn lean, and then the catalyst O2 sensors pick up that, you know, the catalyst is below efficiency. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to do a smoke check on it, test on it, and see where it's leaking from. So that's what we'll go and do now. Right, now we're going to do a smoke test on this car. This is basically a homemade smoke test machine. It's a smoke machine. I bought it from over the pond from somebody who was selling them. I bought it as a temporary basis because I was going to upgrade it later on. I just wanted to use it, but I've had it quite a while now and it's worked really well, so I haven't had to upgrade it yet. But when I do upgrade it, I'm going to upgrade it with one of the ones that you get that's got a built-in pump on it, so you don't need to lug around a compressor with you. Like I've got a compressor over there. See, that's what I need to plug in to here. Yeah, you got to plug in the compressor in here. So I'll show you how this smoke machine works. First of all, it's made out of an old paint tin, so it's quite clever the way the guys made this, and it works really well. So first of all, we're going to open the lid. Right, and I'm going to pour, this is baby oil. If you have a look in there, it's got a wick in there. So if I just pour in this baby oil, what it does, the oil actually heats up or gets burnt by that wick, which we're going to connect to a battery. And then you plug in the air supply to there, and then it pressurizes it and it pushes the steam out, the smoke, in other words, not steam, the smoke. It pushes the smoke out of this pipe. I put the lid back on. Okay, that's ready. Okay, now I'm going to plug this onto my battery, minus to the black one and positive to the red one. Leave that there, and I think I'll hang it, get it in there. Okay, that's up there, that's ready to use. Now that we've plugged it on, soon it'll build up the smoke and it'll come out of there once it heats up. Oh yeah, I forgot to plug in the air supply. So if I plug that in there, see how much smoke is pulling out there, look. So that's a good smoke flow there. So what I'll do, until I get that open, I'm going to take one of the battery terminals off, so it's going to still blow the smoke out because we've got the compressor connected. What I'll do, I'll just disconnect it for a minute as well. Right, what we're going to do, we're going to put the smoke supply through the inlet manifold. So if I can undo that here, yep, like that. Then I bought this thing. This is actually for the smoke supply. It's quite clever. You just put it in there and you pump it up, and this expands, and then it blocks off that. So what we're going to do is put this in here, Put that in there and then just pump it up. If you can see in there, it's pumping up like a balloon. That's it now, look. Now that's in there, so no smoke can escape from the sides. Then got this inlet pipe. I'm going to plug this into, well, let me just make sure that the smoke's coming out. So I'm going to plug the smoke machine back on the battery, put in the air supply. Now let's see here, all the smoke's coming. So now we're going to plug this smoke in here. So now the smoke would be going through the inlet system, and wherever it's leaking from, we're going to find out in a little while. As you can see, look, it's all smoking out the back quite a lot. So I think it must be that L-shaped breather pipe that's gone. And also, if you look over here near the throttle body, it's smoking from here as well. So we might have to, don't know if that one would make a difference, but it is, yeah, it's smoking out of here as well. So we might have to check the seal in between there. But most of the smoke is coming out of there. And that's, I think, what's pulling up the code for too lean. So, you know, I think now what we're going to have to do is take off the manifold and have a look where that pipe is, locate it, and then change it. Right, now I've just located the smoke machine and everything. Now we're going to pull this back out. So I'll just undo that. See the air coming out, and it goes back into its normal shape. And we've done our smoke check. So let's get on with taking off the manifold and everything. Let's start off by undoing this hose first. So if we take this off of here completely, I think, yes, it's got one pipe in here. Just disconnect that, get that out of the way. Then I think I've got to take off this panel. So basically you just push these pins in a little bit. That one's already out, so I think it's broken as well. Push the pin in a little bit. That's it. In a bit. That one's already out. Okay. And okay, I think I've got to undo a couple of torques up there. Right, I've undone this. I think we should be able to get to it just by lifting it up. Otherwise, you've got to take off them torques and take the wipers and everything off. So now let's take this cover off. So it's a Phillips screw here and one in there. Okay, for that one, I think I have to get a, oh no, it's not even in there. So there's one here. And one over here. That's undone. Undo the oil cap. And that's ready to come off. Got the two screws still in there. I'll put that one in there. This is out the way now. Okay. Put the oil cap back on in case anything falls in there. So now what we've got to do, got to undo these bolts to take the manifold out. I think I'm going to have to undo this bracket as well because that's in the way of that other bolt. So and on that side 1 or 2. Okay, let's get on with that then. I'm going to take this bracket off first. So these are 8mm nuts, got an 8mm socket on it. Taking that bracket off, out of the way. Now I'm going to undo these manifold bolts. They're 8mm as well, so start off on that one. So it's got the big rubber washer on it. So that one's out. That's actually come out the thread by the looks of it on the bottom, so we're going to look at that one. And then I've got to undo this one. That's a different size, that looks like a 10mm on top. I'll just put, yep, 10mm. Somehow I don't think that one's original. Somebody's put that in because I could feel something on the bottom of it. Yeah, look, it's got spaces in it, and I think the thread or something must be gone on it, so they've bolt underneath on it, but I can't really get to it at the moment. It's fallen out, so let me just put all of these out. Okay, this side is out now. Right, see there's a bolt here, just here. There's one on this side, but we can't really get the camera in there, so I'm going to just undo it. It's just like this one, like I think the manifold's most probably the same shape, just behind here. Okay, yep, that one's out. Taking it out with the grommet. I think I'll take these grommets out as well from here in case they fall out somewhere. And now just got to undo, I think, this one. And then a bracket on the other side. That's out, and this comes out of here. That we just pull out of there, so it's on there. We've got to undo this bracket bolt here. That's a 10mm, so let me get a 10mm. There it is, this one. Yep, that moved there. when you're doing a plug change on this car on this side, you have to take this manifold out to do it, because all the coils and the plugs are under this manifold. To do the other side, you just do it from there. It's easy, you could see them there. So taking this bolt out now. Now I think the manifold is ready to come off. Yes, it is. I'm not going to take it all off. I'm just going to, I think, move it to the side. I think this pipe, you don't want to break these pipes, because after a while they do come brittle, so got to be really careful with them. Just try and press this in. From there. Push that little tab in and then pull this pipe out. Unclip it carefully. So now that one is out the way. And another thing is, be careful with these gaskets here. Hopefully they're alright, otherwise you'll have to replace them. So now all I want to do is just move this to the side a little bit. Okay, there's a plug behind here. So if I undo, there's two plugs behind here. So if I undo that plug, that's one, and one on this side. That's the other one. Now, I think if I undo this plug as well, gives it more slack, and this one, that's already been put on by a cable tie, so I think it's a bit broken, yeah. So never mind, we'll put that back on the same way. Now, that's it, we've got the manifold out now. And there's a pipe here. Now, I think taking that pipe off, it might snap, so we just leave it like that. I think that's enough access now for us to get the pipe out. Yeah, I've just noticed this sensor, somebody's repaired it where they haven't disconnected it. Look, the actual sensor wire is broken here to this sensor, and it's been soldered on. So that's one of our problems as well. We'll have to fix this. I'll have to take it out like this because the tab on the back of it's broken. So if I just push that up. No, I can't do it with that. Get a smaller screwdriver and just lift that little tab in there. That's it. Now that's out. See this? It seems to have, it's been soldered before and the other wire's not even connected. So we're going to have to repair that too. Right, this red pipe was actually disconnected. This goes on the back of the manifold in the grommet. So I think that's where the smoke was coming out of, because see the pipe, it went in this grommet and that was actually disconnected.
so the smoke was leaking out of there. So what we're going to have to do is going to have to plug that pipe back in as well to, you know, stop the vacuum leak there. That's where the smoke was coming out of. I was actually looking for the L-shaped pipe that we took off the manifold to get to, but I don't think this model has that L-shaped pipe in it. I'm just going to undo the manifold flap motors now. They're two 8mm bolts. Slide this motor out.
Right, let's start off where he left off. Right, we have the manifold off, we've got it off, and we found the problem of this plug as well that's broken. That wasn't connected, like somebody's tried to attempt at soldering it, and that one's completely missing. If you could see, it's over there. So first we're going to have to repair that. And what I've done, I found another plug. It's not the same because this plug has, you know, all these ridges, lines in it for that to fit in, but that size is the same. So if we could get that plug over there, then we should be able to just solder this one on and use this. So let's have a go. Because it hasn't got these tabs here, like these lined ridges that go in there, what we could do is try and force this over, and it'll make a nice snug tight fit. Yep, that's gone in. Yep, see, that's gone in nice and tight now. So what we'll do, we'll go with that. Now what I've got to do, first of all, I'm going to check if these motors, these flap motors, are working. It's meant to, when you give it power, it's meant to go like that. Because what these actually do, they shorten the manifold. Down there you'll see a couple of ports, one going that way and one in the other side. I don't think you could see it, or maybe yeah, you can. Right now, what this does when it operates, it turns like that, and it cuts one side off. Basically it shortens the manifold. Right, so this is how they work. And if I was to give this 12 volts, this flap should turn. No, it's not turning, it's kind of shorting out. If you could see, the smoke's coming out. So if I connect it the other way around, see if it works that way. Switch the volume. No, it's actually shorting out. So now we found another problem with the car, that these motors are faulty as well, these flat motors. Well, I don't know the other one's faulty or not. We'll check that one. So I'll just put that there. I've already taken the bolts out, so I'll take that plug out, put that there. Put this plug on this one, and we'll quickly test this one. No, that one's not working either. Really, when we give it 12 volts, this motor should flip round like that, but it's not working. So both these motors have failed. So I think we'll have to order 2 flap motors. But in the meantime, I think I'll repair that plug. So what we're going to do, I'm going to use this plug because we could get it to fit in there nice and snugly and it won't come off. So I'm going to just solder this onto that. Alright, first of all we're going to put the plug on these wires. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut them the same length. If I just strip that one, yep, that's stripped now. Now on this, the 12 volt supply is the brown wire, that one there. So, okay, now I'm going to put this plug in into that wiring loom. So what I'll do first, I'll put some shrink wrap on it. And there. And what we've got to put the wiring in the right order. According to this is the original plug where somebody had soldered that onto it. This side, the left hand side, is the positive, the 12 volt. So the pink wire is going to go to the brown wire over there, which is the 12 volt. Okay, first I'm going to connect this pink wire to the brown one, which is our positive. So I just interlink the wires into each other like that. Okay, and now I'm just going to solder that wire. Okay, now I'm going to pull this heat shrink over there. Okay, now I'm just going to put some heat on it and shrink the heat shrink down. Right, that side's done. I'm going to put a bit of tape on it as well, so it gives it more protection in case it rubs somewhere. Okay, now I'm going to put this other wire on. Remember, interlock them into each other. That's it, our plug's been fitted. Alright, now that the manifold control flaps or motors are here for the Jaguar, we're just going to test them before we put them on the car. So if it was like that, the left one was the positive. So if I just click this, got my probe connected to my motorcycle battery, and I'll just put this there, and we give the other side power. So let me switch off the sound now. This should turn once we give it power. That's not doing anything, that's just getting shorted out. Let me swap it around. Yeah. There you are, see? This is what should happen to them. They should work like that when you give it power. So this one's okay. This is ready to fit back on the car. Now let's test this one. That's not working at the moment. Swap this over. No, that's shorted. If you could see, that's shorting out. If I connect it to either side of the terminals, so this one's not working. Now these are the ones we bought. One is good and one is not. So I'm going to have to send this one back and get hold of another one. Yeah, so when we get hold of another one, then we could only fit it back onto the car. Luckily we tested them. I've got the other part now. One of them was faulty, so I sent that one back and I kept one of them, which was good. So now this part's arrived. I'll just test this one. You can see that flap's working as well now. And just test the other one again just to make sure. That's it, both of them are working. So now I'm going to install them into the car. Okay, so I'm going to put these back in. I'll put a bit of brake cleaner on the seal there so it's easier to get in there. Twist it a bit to get this and push the seal on. That's it, that's gone on. That's it, they're done up now, ready to go back on. But before we put it back on, we had a problem with the with a couple of these bolts. See this insert, this thread insert, had actually come out from there. So that was loose, so we could have been getting an air leak from there as well because that wasn't fastened down. So I'm going to just some way stick that back in there. Right, I'm going to glue this insert in. So if I put a bit of brake cleaner on it to clean that, and a bit of brake cleaner in there, that get rid of the grease and stuff. Clean that. I'll put it on the stud. So now I'm going to put the super glue around it. Then I've got a bit of activator. There's one left in there, so we won't bother using that. Just put that in there, and then we give it a little tap. And we're going to have to give that time to dry. Take the bolt out. Once that's dry, then we could start putting the manifold back. But another thing was that this last one, somebody had previously put a long bolt in it, and they had a nut underneath because they could get to that one because that insert's missing as well. So what I'm going to have to do is get a nut and hold it under there somehow and fasten the top bolt through it. So I'm going to have to do that. It looks like a bit of mission because there's not enough space, but we'll do that. Put a nut underneath and tighten it up, because it could have been leaking air from there as well when these two wasn't fastened. So we'll look into that in a little while. Let that dry first. Okay, now I'm going to put this manifold back on. So just get that in there. Okay. Okay, this pipe just goes through here, and this is this pipe's in the way as well. Just got to check if this wiring comes through that. Yeah, I think this wiring just clips into there, and the manifolds goes like that. But now, before actually putting this back in its place, I want to plug in the plugs at the back. So if you remember, this is the plug that we put on, the damaged one, and it wasn't exactly the right plug, so I've got to kind of force this one on. So if I just put it on, see the plug there, I'll have to force it on. There. Yeah. Okay, I've got this plug on now. Make sure it's... Yeah, that's pushed all the way in. That's plugged in. Now I've got to get the second plug. This shouldn't be a problem. That just plugs in. Where is it gone? That just... hang on a minute, I've plugged this into the wrong place. I'll have to unplug this one again. Okay, if I just get a screwdriver on that. Okay, I've got to pull this plug off again because this is the one we repaired, and this goes on to the other motor, which is down the bottom here. So I'm just plugging that in. Okay, both of them control valves are plugged in now. Now we've got to remember to plug this pipe in, and I think this pipe was off, and that's where the smoke must have been coming out of the manifold. So this goes into this rubber grommet, plus that grommet was facing around the other way, so that was disconnected. It's not easy getting your hand behind that. Yeah, that's better. Just shift the manifold a bit so I could... Alright, that's fully in there now, and then the last one is to plug the other sensor in. Let me find the plug for that sensor, which is here. I think that might be the map sensor, I'm not sure, but it's there, so I'm going to plug this one in as well. That's plugged in, so everything in the back we needed to plug in is all plugged in now. So now I'm just going to put this manifold back into its place. I pull this pipe out from under there, this goes there and it'll go into there. So let's put this manifold into its place, which is like that. Got a few of these grommets to put in with the bolts, so I think, no, so if I put this one in here, it's got the grommet on it. And I think these wider grommets most probably go here in the back. Yeah, that seems to fit there okay. Okay, and another one. This is the thinner one. That grommet goes there, and then this bolt. Yep. And then this one goes in there, and this one goes in there, which we'll have to put a nut at the bottom of it. But and this one, yep, this one goes in there. You can't see it, but it's the same as this one here. And I'll just put this one in here. That's done. That's okay. Now I've got to just put the bolts in. Okay, this bolt goes in the back, so I'll just put this one in for now. Okay, and this bolt was fitted here, which I'll have to find another little nut for, so I'll do that now. Okay, I've managed to find this square nut at the moment, so if I could hold that underneath, and I could just fasten that onto that. I'll give that a go. That's way down there, so I think what I'm going to have to do bit of glue on my finger. Stick that on there, give it a few seconds. Yeah, I've managed to get that bolt on. I'll tighten them up when I find my socket, then I will be able to tighten them up. But in the meantime, I'm going to put the last bolt in, which is a short one that goes here. That's in the insert that we glued in. So all the bolts are on. Let me see that pipe. I could see it from here. It's not gone in all the way. You look in there. See, it's got to go up to that ridge. So I'll just push that in a bit more. That's it. Now that's definitely in there. Okay, that's it. That's done. Everything's done. All I have to do is fasten down the bolts and put in the rest of the pipes. Now I've found my socket. I'm going to tighten these bolts up. This is a 8mm socket. Yep, 8mm. Got to bolt this bracket on here. That's to hold the cover on. I think one of the screws goes in there. I'm not sure. I think that screw was missing anyway, but I'll put the bracket back on. Eight mil again. brackets on. Now I've got to put this pipe on in here. The clip. That's clipped in there. Now this one clips in there. And one's turned, set the way there. And that clips in there in the back. Like that, so that one's done. One's done, that pipe's clipped in. But this one, I think that goes on the ear box. So all the pipes in the back and there are done. So let me just
Here's our little mini Jaguar, Pebbles. She's come to inspect her big sister Jaguar if everything's going according to plan. She's just going to do a quick inspection. Yeah, that seems okay. Now she's going to inspect the wheel. Yep, that's all okay. And now just the last inspection of the inside. And that's all okay as well. So her inspection is done of her sister Jaguar.
okay. Now I'm going to put this on. That's on. Tie this one up. Now I want to put this the vacuum breather hose in here. That's in. Now we've got to plug in this connector here. That's connected in. Now just going to tighten this one up. Okay. Now I'm going to put these clips back in here. Just push the pin in. There's quite a few of these pins missing as well, so just put on what I've got. And now put this cover on. Do the oil cap. That one's on. That one, just as I thought, was missing anyway. And I just put these two on. That's it. This one hasn't gone in properly. That's it. It's all on the cover. Now it's ready to start up. Yeah, I've got to put this bolt in here. That one's done up. Okay, I'm going to start the car up now. Start it up. Okay, it's running now. I'm going to just do a diagnostics on it to get rid of the engine management lights and everything, and then we're going to take it for a test drive to see if the faults come back. Because remember, when you used to accelerate hard to go, to go a bit faster, then the engine cut power sign used to come off and the engine management light used to come on, so I used to basically go into limp mode. I've just come back from the test drive now, and the car seems to be driving fast. If you look here on the dash, on the cluster, there is no engine management faults anymore. The engine management sign is gone, and also we used to get a sign up on the display saying underpowered engine performance. That don't come back now. I gave it some hard acceleration and I drove it for about 10 miles, and the system is cured now. And I also done a diagnostics check on it, and it didn't come back with the faults, the mixture being too lean. So that means that the car is fixed now. But on this car, we only wanted to check the air leak or a vacuum leak on it, but we ended up finding other faults, like the intake manifold motor flaps were faulty, both of them. So we ended up finding that fault, changing them, and also one of the connectors to the flap motors was broken, and where previously somebody attempted to repair it but didn't do a good job because one of the wires wasn't even connected and the other one was snapped. And then we found out where it was leaking vacuum from. It was that red plastic pipe at the back that went to the fuel rail. I think that went to the fuel regulator. And after fixing all the faults on it, and now that the car is cured, and if you enjoyed the video and you haven't done already, that is subscribe to the channel, please subscribe to the channel and also click the bell icon so you could get all the future videos of the fix. And remember, don't jinx it, fix it.